Right, we are going to create a very basic web page. We did this in year 7, but we're going to do it slightly differently this time around. We're going to use a piece of software which is called Dreamweaver. Previously we'd used Notepad, but this is a little bit more straightforward to use to create a web page quite quickly. Okay, so in your OneNote, in the lesson you've got in front of you, you've got task 1. I've put some information in there in terms of what's going to go on the web page, also the image, and add a link with that we're going to use as we create it. So you've got everything you need in there. Now, as I'm going through the video, I am going to be giving you information about the different tags that are used when creating web pages. So, for example, here the tag which is called HTML, that's what it looks like. It's got those brackets around it. So as I go through the video, I'm going to give you information that you need to add into this table. Now you can either do it as we're going along, you can do it at the end, it's entirely up to you. But you need to get this filled in as well by the end of the lesson. So to get started, in your documents, just have a new folder. So at the top here, click that little icon, or just go new folder. I'm just going to call it Classic Cars because we're carrying on with from the logo that we created in the other lesson. So there, that's my folder. I'm going to have Classic Cars in there. So I'm going to go into it, and this is where I put all my documents. Now, first off, I need to get some things from OneNote. So if I go back to OneNote, I need the image. Now, all you need to do is download it into that folder and just leave it there. Don't open it, don't try and mess around with it or do anything. You just need to go save as, and then put it into the folder we just created called Classic Cars. If it goes to downloads, just get it from downloads and just Control V and then Control C, Control V into here. Click save. There we go. So we've got our folder with the image in it. Okay, let's have a look at it because I know you'll probably open it anyway. Lovely, classic Dodge Charger car. Wonderful. Now, next thing we're going to do is open the software. Now, as it's called Dreamweaver, so on your computer, if you just go underneath Adobe, just here, that's where it does Adobe Design, and you've got Adobe Dreamweaver. This is what we're using. Okay, now when it first opens up, it gives you pretty much a blank screen. What we need to do is create a new HTML hypertext markup language document by clicking that, and you can see it's just blank. Now I've got different options across the top here. I'm not going to go into that till next lesson. You see it's on design at the minute. We don't want design. We're just going to go to code, and you can see it's put in or auto-populated some code for us. Highlight it all, click and drag, delete. There we go. So we're in code and we've got a blank view. First off, we're going to save our document. So at the top, file, save as, and then wherever you've got your folder, save. There we go. Code Classic Cars, and I'm going to call it index. Okay, index, and go save. So in my Classics Cars folder, I'm going to click save. Call it index. There you go. So if you go back to your folder, you should now have the Dodge Charger image and the web page that we just created. It's got nothing in it. Back to Dreamweaver. So here we go. Now, in year 7, we looked at like the basic structure. So you always start off with, and always do it in lowercase HTML, and you put those brackets around like that. So that's your opening tag. It basically just says this is a HTML page. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come down to the bottom a bit more, I'm going to go down a few spaces, and I'm going to do bracket, and I'm going to do my slash, and you can see it closes my tag automatically for me in Dreamweaver. This is a wonderful thing about Dreamweaver. It does a lot of the work for you. So we've got our opening tag, and we've got a closing tag, and you can see it's closing because it's got the slash there. Now, other things that we're going to use are a head tag, and we're going to close that like that, and then a body tag, and this is your typical structure for a web page. Close that one as well. Oops, I ain't done it for me. Okay, so the head tag just contains some information about the web page. Now, what you can put in there is the name or the title. So if I do title, close that off, and I'm just going to type in here Classic Cars. So I've closed the bracket, classic cars, and I'm going to close the title tag like that. Okay, so I've got my HTML, my head. Inside my head I've got the title, and at the minute there's nothing in body. It doesn't matter if they're indented or however it looks, as long as you've got the tags in the right order and you've closed them, etc. So I'm going to save that, and then here on that globe, if I go preview in iExplore, so it's F12, so you can either click preview in iExplore or just go to F12. Now you'll see there's nothing in it, it's just a blank page, but on the tab you can see is the name of our title, Classic Cars, and that's all we've done so far. Now we need to start putting some information in to our page for people to see. So we're going to combine a couple of tags. We'll start off with H1. So H1 just means heading. It's a heading tag, and in there I'm going to put all about the Dodge Charger. So just type that in, and if I close it, H1, there you go. And you can see if we just quickly F12, there you go. So it's put in all about Dodge Charger in bold. It's a heading tag, and that's what it's done there. Now I want to center my tag. Now normally you just say okay, center. That's pretty straightforward. No, not like that. Center like that. Problem is that's the correct way of spelling it, but HTML you have to use American spelling. So you might remember it's center like that, and then we just do the same at the other end. Okay, so you got to remember it's not RE, it's spelt wrong. Okay, but it's right, so to speak. So I don't want to do that. Cancel and save, or Control S, and then I'm just going to do F12 again. We'll just see what difference that's done. And it's down the bottom there. There it is. It centered it. Okay, so we started getting some information into, onto our web page. Let's carry on. Next thing we're going to want is just a bit of information. So I'm going to use a P tag, which is a paragraph tag. It's the most basic tag you could probably come across. So the Dodge Charger, it is an American car, first produced in I think 1966. Full stop, close. There you go. So it's close the P there. Again, you can keep checking as you're going along just to make sure you're doing it correctly. So F12 again, and you should see that we've got, there we go, the H1, the paragraph, and we've got a bit of text there, a bit of information. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this an image in. And the image is obviously the one that you've downloaded from OneNote. And to do this, if we use IMG, obviously standing for image, SRC, not SCR, SRC for source. We've got equals, and then the name of the file, which is charger, and you've got to put .jpg like that. Okay, so IMG SRC, and then the speech marks charger.jpg. Now if I just save that, let's have a look, save that, and then F12 again, come down to the bottom, have a look at it there. Aha, wonderful, beautiful car. And you can see we've got the image there, quite a large image. And again, what we need to do is just center that. So if I go back to Dreamweaver, and I can put my center, spelt wrong, but right, tag there, close it at the end, like that, and that should then center my my image. Oh, we go, lovely. And what I'm going to do, there's this tag, and it's quite simple, just HR. And it just means it's called a horizontal rule, which is a fancy word, a way of saying make a kind of line. So if I put a HR there above the image and a HR underneath, save, and then if I can either just F12 or just refresh there, you can see it's put this kind of like divider there above and below. So that's our horizontal rule. You might want to pause now, just go back to the table and just see how many of these you can fill in so far, and then we'll carry on in a second. welcome back. So next thing I'm going to do is add a list. Now to add a list, the first tag I put in is UL. This starts the list off, and it means unordered list or bullet point. Now I've opened up my UL. I'm not closing it yet because I've got to put LIs in, which are my list items. So the first thing I'm going to put is there have been 6 generations. I don't know if that's completely correct. 6 generations of the car, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to close that list. Then I'm going to carry on doing the next one. So LI again, so another item, another bullet point. It was made famous in a number of films. Full stop. Pop that in there. LI closed. And last one, let's put in one more list item. The Hellcat version can reach 240 miles per hour mph. Full stop, and then I'm going to close my list like that. So you've got your UL, which opens it all up, the list item, which is for each bullet point, and I'm going to close it off by going like that. UL. Let's save that and have a look and see how it's coming along. So F12 after you've saved. Down the bottom there it is. Okay, there you go. So I've got my bullet points. Perfect. There you go. So I've got my bullet points, my unordered list. And then what I'm going to do, I've got a big chunk of text. I'm going to get this directly from OneNote because there's a lot to put in. So just copy, paste the text, Control C for copy. And then here, Control V for paste. Now, I'm going to use a tag which is called block quote. So block, as you start typing, you can see the tag appear. Block quote, and then close it after that big chunk of text, and it does it for me. And this kind of just pulls out that text. So if you go to and have a look and see what it's done. So you can see we've got the text we copied across, and it's just indented it and just pulled it out a little bit so to sort of make it a bit more prominent. Okay, so I've got my block quote in there, and then what I want to do is have an image, not an image, sorry, a link to a video. So what I need to do is the link is in your OneNote. So if you go back to OneNote, just copy again, highlights, Control C, Control V, paste it in there like that. Good. Wrong way. Now I need to put the correct tag in, and the tag for this one is A H ref. And then I put my equals, speech mark, and there you go. I've got my changed colour, closing speech mark, and then my bracket there. So it's A H ref, and then I put my link in. Now I need to put some text which this link is going to be kind of associated with. I'm going to put in here, watch a video. Okay, just like that. And then finally, I've got to close my tag like that. So if you have a look, you've got the text inside. And if I save it, we can see what that looks like. So if I save, F12, come down to it. Look, watch a video. If I click on it, it should open in YouTube. Wow, there we go. Well, it's a bit noisy. And there it is. A lovely Dodge Charger. Okay. And I can. Problem is, once I've done that, it's kind of like I've lost my page. I'll have to go back. So there we go. There we go. Now, to make that a bit tidier, I'm going to put some text before it. So I'm going to create a P tag. Like that. And I'm going to say, click here. To, and then I need a space to watch a video. So it carries on from here over here. Watch a video, watch a video, comma, showing the car. Showing the car, something like that. That's fine. And then I just need to close my P tag. So all my tags are closed there. Save it, and then if we just F12 that, there it is. So I've only got the link itself on that text, not everything. So click here to watch isn't a hyperlink, this isn't a hyperlink, but that is. So what I'm going to do, just to tidy it up a little bit, in here, after that speech mark, right, I'm going to type target equals speech mark underscore blank. Oops. Like that. Now if I save that, where is it going now? Save. Go back to my web page one more time. Looks exactly the same, but if I click on it, there you go, it opens in a different tab. Like that. So I've got my tab, my original tab, and then my one like that. So rather than having this annoying where you have to like go back or click the back button or whatever, I can have it in a different tab. It gives me a bit more control. So there you go. That's your web page. That's what it should look like. You can obviously resize it. But yeah, H1, the heading tag. You got your P tag there with information. Our horizontal raw, the HR. We use the IMG tag to put our image in. We've got our UL and then our LI, which we're using for our unordered lists. Block quote for the text there, and then we are using a link at the bottom here, our ahref, to create our hyperlink. So in your OneNote, make sure that you add all these in. Actually we've missed one out. Let me go back because I've missed off this one. So what I'm going to do, if I should put that, let's put that in here. Right, so where it's got watch, I'm going to put an I in a tag, and then I'm going to put my closing I. Weird. There we go. Click save, and then that, if you have a look at it again, there we go, and it's in italics. Okay, so you've got all of those in there. Fill those in. Now, next thing I want you to do is this. I'm going to show you. I might as well show you now. You're going to make your, you can basically change all of this text and the images and everything you've done in here to something, in line with a job or a career or whatever you've been thinking about or looking at in the last couple of lessons. So to do that, first off, if you go File, Save As. Now, we've got Classic Cars. I'm not going to put it in Classic Cars. If we just go up a level, back to your Documents, and then let's create another folder by clicking on that. I want you to call it My Website. Okay. And then inside that, you're going to go, right, save. If I say update links, just click yes for now. And you've got your own version of it. So here, I want you to change everything. The image, I want you to change the title, what the whole thing's about, videos, everything you can change on here to something you're interested in, about a job or a career. There you go.